Howdy folks, Sunday in the South. Spicy, flavorful salsa on the menu today. Whenever I go to Mexican restaurants, I always ask for their hot and spicy salsa, and every one of them's different, and there's a reason why they're different. The peppers and the ingredients you get change each time you get a batch, so you can't really ever make a batch exactly the same as the last. For this homemade salsa, I'm going to be using 4 different types of fresh peppers. Now, these sauces can be made with dried, dehydrated peppers, but I really like my salsa made with fresh ingredients and fresh peppers. I've got 3 red jalapenos over here, and red jalapenos are, they're interesting. A jalapeno turn red if it stay on the vine too long, and the longer it's on the vine, the more stress it's been through with soil changes and watering and whatnot. And these are generally hotter than green jalapenos, but they're also sweeter. And some of them can flat light you up. And the way to tell a lot of peppers, if they're really hot or got quite a bit of heat in them, is these striations that are in the pepper. You see these little like stretch marks? That means that pepper's been through quite a bit of stress over its lifetime on the vine. And it's usually got a good bit of heat in it. This one is fairly smooth. So that one's not going to be as hot as that one. And this one is fairly small and very smooth. So it's not going to have a whole lot of heat in it, but it's going to be sweeter than a green jalapeno. I've got 3 Serrano peppers. Those pack quite a bit of heat. I've got 2 plain old red chili peppers, and those are not very hot. They're mild. And then I've got a Poblano. This is going to add a good earthy flavor to this salsa. Other ingredients you're going to need is a couple of nice red Roma tomatoes. And you want to make sure you get the ones that are not soft. They need to be pretty firm. A red onion, about 6 cloves of garlic. Now this is up to you. I like to have quite a bit of garlic in my salsa. I recommend 2 to 10 cloves. I'm going to do 6. A little bit of paprika. We're going to use some adobo sauce out of that chipotle can. You're going to need some lime juice, some light olive oil, and some salt and pepper. And what we're going to do here, we're going to roast off these peppers, onions, and tomatoes, and the garlic in a sheet pan in the oven. Get a nice little char on it, add another dimension of flavor and taste. And then that's going to go in a blender and we'll make a mash. And then we'll pour that mash into a pot and basically fry it off. And then we'll add some other seasonings. I'm going to put some of that adobo sauce in there, some paprika, just mostly for coloring. Hit it with a little bit of lime juice to balance it out. Some salt and pepper. May put a little sugar in it. We'll have to see how the acidity is. This is a real good salsa. We're going to get going. Now we're going to get a little olive oil in this sheet pan. We're going to get our tomatoes in here and get them coated up with some oil. Get this old big Poblano in here. Little red chilies. Serranos. Red jalapenos. Garlic clove. I'm just gonna leave the peel on there for now. I'll knock that off here after this gets done roasting. Just red onion. All right, we're gonna get that in the oven. I'm going to run this on convection, about 400 degrees till we get these charred up real nice. .400 degrees on convection. We're going to keep an eye on it. When it starts charring up a little bit, I'm going to turn them a few times, toss them around. They've been roasting here for about 30 minutes. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, the Poblano got good color on it. Garlic's is looking good. I'm going to move this under the broiler. Give it a few minutes that way. Finish these up. Alright, we got the veggies out. Got a little char on them here and there. Look real good. And I pulled the garlic out, got it set to the side. And you got to squeeze your garlic out of your pods now. It's roasted garlic. Boy, it don't get no better than that. Alright, got the garlic out of the little cloves. We're just going to get this in here. I'm going to cover this up. Let it steam for a little while. And then we're going to get that in the blender. Alright, these been steaming about 15 minutes. We fixing to get these in the blender. But first I want to go through here and make sure I get this little core out of these tomatoes. You can cut these out to begin with if you want to. I'm just going to take them out right now. Just a little core right there on the end. Don't amount to much. You could probably leave it in there, it wouldn't matter. And then the next thing we gotta do is get these little stems out of these peppers. And they come out pretty easy. Boy, I tell you, this smells good. Gonna be good. I smell that roasted garlic, that's for sure. I think that's everything. Yep. We'll get this in the blender. Let's get the goodies in here. Get on in there. Now we got some pan juices in here and that roasted garlic. We're going to make sure it gets in there. Put about a tablespoon of that chipotle adobo in there. Alright, that's our mash. Let's get it cooked. Now we're going to pour the mash right in the oil. I'm going to go in with about 2 teaspoons of paprika. Put a teaspoon of salt in there to get it started. About a half teaspoon of black pepper. Looking pretty good. Might help to turn the light on. Get a little lime juice in. That's about a whole lime. I'm gonna get this cilantro in here. And the last ingredient, and I left out when we started the video, I'm going to put about a half a teaspoon of adobo seasoning in here. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil. That's pretty much it. I'm going to give it a taste, see what it needs on salt. Ooh, that's pretty good. Got real good flavor. It's tasty. It do need a little more salt. I like my sauce to be pretty salty. I'll put about another half teaspoon in there. That roasted garlic and just a little bit of char on those peppers really come through and give this a really deep flavor. So you end up with something that's, you know, tastes really good and don't just burn you up. But it do got heat. And the longer you cook this, obviously the thicker it'll get, and it'll also get a little redder or deeper orange color. But that's about how I like mine. And it's going to thicken when it cools, so keep that in mind. If it thickens too much, you can add you a little more water to it. Give this another taste. Yep, that's good. Alright, we'll let this cool off in the refrigerator. Take a look at it, see what it's doing on thickness, and we'll get this plated up with some chips. It's gonna be good. Alright, the ranchero sauce has cooled and married up and got happy here. We're gonna get some over here in this bowl. Have some chips and salsa. And I've got some back here too. This sauce is multi-purpose. You can use this on tacos. You can use it to season the taco meat. You do some steak and eggs for breakfast, put you some ranchero on there. This sauce is more about flavor than it is heat. I'd say the heat level on this with the peppers I used was probably about a 3, maybe a 4. If you want to up the heat level, throw you some R-balls in there. Use some more Serrano peppers. The ingredients I used here for this ranchero sauce is pretty much the base. You make adjustments however you see fit. If you want more garlic, put some in there and roast it. Add some minced garlic when you're cooking it down. Just change it to however you want it. This is a versatile sauce that can be used for a lot of different things, and how you put it together is dependent on your taste. Get a little more red onion on there. Maybe a little cilantro. Put us a lime in there. That is so good. There are so many different dimensions of flavor with this salsa. the different peppers that were used, the roasting technique, getting the natural juices out of the peppers and the vegetables, letting it caramelize on the bottom of that pan, that roasted garlic. There's some heat in there, but it's not overwhelming. There's just a hint of smoke from the chipotle adobo sauce. If you want more smoke, add some more chipotle. Like I said, this is the base sauce. You fix it however you want it. I would caution against using too much chipotle because chipotle has the tendency to overpower. And there's a lot of subtle flavors in this sauce. That's it, folks. Till next time, peace.